switch the lineup, but again, it looked like you're still kind of trying to maybe find some combinations. What went into trying to figure out like bringing Bryce off the bench?
I just, I was trying to keep, I think seeing the game sometimes, got in foul trouble last game. So, I mean, Bryce is going to play a consistent, role. I know people get wrapped up in to starting. He's going to play starter minutes.
The game that Hunter had, Zach Edey didn't quite have the impact that Hunter did against you. What was the difference trying to contain him compared to some of the other bigs you faced this season?
I've got to look at it. I just didn't think, he was able to score some over us. I just, I didn't think we were able to bottle him up. He's a really talented kid, great touch, and can move well.
What was it like seeing Bruce have a bounce-back performance? Kind of needed that, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, I think Bruce is a good player. We've said that. He's had a consistent approach. And Bruce, when you lose yourself in winning, that's all you care about. When you lose yourself in competing, which that's who Bruce is, Sometimes you struggle, but other times you just play well. And he was able to make some shots, but I thought more than anything, he competed on both ends. He lost himself in competing, and it was good to see for him.
You said after Thursday night that there were performances during this stretch that you felt like were better, Rutgers game and whatnot. How do you kind of rate this one on that scale?
I thought there were some stretches of really good play. I still think some of the issues that have challenged us, inability to get a stop when it's maybe a 3 or 5 point game, too many shots over length, not playing off 2 feet shows both, I think, in some cases our inexperience together in our youth. But those 2 things come to mind as preventing us from being able to really put significant game pressure on them in terms of it being a 1 or 2 possession game late. I think it after maybe the 10-minute mark, it seemed to stay at about 8 or 9 for the better part of the half. And I know we were able to cut it to 3 or 4 and maybe had a chance to cut it to a possession game there in the second half. But I think those 2 issues, but I think there was some good play for sure. But I'll have to go back and look at it. But the initial thought was there were some good possessions.
Bruce said he didn't necessarily think it was a better performance than the last one, but that guys played more free and were just kind of playing. Based on what you saw from the sideline, is that accurate in your mind?
Yeah, I think for stretches we certainly played better. I think we certainly had a much better start, and I think in stretches we played. I think in stretches we played pretty well. I do. We had some clean looks that we missed, and then we had some forced shots. So I got to go back and look at it. I still think there are too many issues that we've got to get better at. But there were certainly some really quality plays and quality possessions.
This season, there have been several games where you've started and said we didn't come out with the required energy, bite, toughness, fill in the blank. You could still win games playing with 100% energy. Do you feel like today they came out with the energy off the jump that was necessary, and you just still lose the game?
I did. Yeah, no, I thought our start was good. I think defensively we had some errors there early. We were mixing up the coverage on Dickinson, but they made some tough shots there early. They made some threes that I think in some ways we were okay with them shooting. But all in all, I thought our start was solid. I really did, and I thought our guys were in a good place, in a good mindset. And again, I think we had stretches of really good play, but too many times where we fouled too much, and then the other issues I talked about.
To start the second half, when you've got, like, Bruce is playing the way he's playing, Justice seemed to be a little bit more aggressive than he's been. He was creating some things. What goes into, like, trying to decide where you're going to try to get shots? It seemed like I'm just curious, like, what the decision-making process is about how you're trying to draw up what for whom in those kinds of moments. Like, because you have a guy like Bryce who's been your leading scorer and he's having a rough game, and just like what goes into trying to decide how you attack this just from the perspective of the coach.
I think as much as anything, we're just trying to help each other play to their strengths, and I think good teams find the way they understand their teammates' strengths. Good offensive teams, and they play to them, and they allow each other to kind of grow into their their role and what they do well. And when we're playing well offensively, we do that. So I don't know if it's a specific, guy we're trying to attack or a specific guy we're trying to get the ball to. We're really trying to just play and see what the defense gives us. I think we had stretches where the ball really moved and then it didn't move as well as it needed to. And I think that's when your offense can get inefficient.
It's not your first option, obviously, and I don't think he plays a whole lot, but like when Gene has to guard like a Hunter or something, like how much does he embrace that? Is that something he likes to do, and how do you assess his performance in those defensive matchups?
I don't know if he likes to do it. You'd have to ask him that. I think we've always, Kyle Young, EJ, they've always guarded guys here. They guarded them really well here last year. Hunter really well here, exceptionally well. And I think it just, we were in foul trouble. Felix got, 2 quick ones, so that's why we went to that. But I don't know how many possessions he played in that role. I think it was probably limited, if any.
The stretch where Hunter, I think, scored like 6 straight on Felix. What are you trying to coach in those moments in a game where it seemed like Hunter was getting pretty good post position on him and just kind of wearing him down a little bit? What are you trying to coach him through in a moment like that?
And I'm trying to coach him to add about 10 pounds of muscle. So it's really, honestly,
Yeah.
there's some technique involved with it, but I think as much as anything, he needs to add, with his length, he needs to add 10 pounds of muscle to be able to defend those guys. He's a really smart kid and a really smart player. He's really smart, so he's going to be able to learn post defense at a really high level. I really do. You add his length, his intelligence, his motor. The only thing he's missing right now, Felix is missing, is strength. And we need to get him stronger.
You mentioned at times settling for jumpers and maybe needing to drive more. I feel like you did that in the first half. 9 free throws made, 12 attempts. Did you want more of that in the second half as well, and were you happy with that aggression?
I'd have to go in and look at it. I think at times we probably settled. But listen, we need to take more threes. And I've said that to our guys. There's certain guys that need to take more threes. Sean needs to take, 2 or 3 more threes a game. So I'm not sure if I'd have to look at it. I'm not sure I had a big issue with some of the threes we took.
Just a couple more. With Sean and the way the teams are guarding him, watching it tonight, it seemed like they were really hugging up on him. And just what can be done to free him up a little bit?
I think we probably have to, we have to use him as a screener a little bit more. He's got to be better at screening. Guys have to screen for him, but he has to screen a little bit more. And then, we've been saying it here for months now. Sean's got to get some more in transition than what he gets. We've got to find him more, and he's got to run harder. He's got to get some cleaner looks in transition than what he's getting.
I know you don't think about the starting 5 the way we do, but you started the season with Bryce coming off the bench. Obviously, things happened that put him into the lineup, but is there something that can work better in your eyes when he comes off the bench? Maybe other guys start to get going as opposed to getting him the ball early, or is that too much to read into?
Yeah, no, we'll look at it. Again, I think he's going to have consistent starter minutes right now. We'll look at it. I think in some ways, we obviously need him on the floor at times, and the foul trouble the other night kind of hurt us. I think it probably hurt us finishing the game. He's going to play starter type minutes, whether he's starting or coming off the bench.
Cool. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.